Hello friends, in this video, I will try to find out the mystery of the lost city, Atlantis. So let's get started. The history of Atlantis is that it is a legendary island civilization first described by the Greek philosopher Plato in his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias around 360 BC. According to the story, Atlantis was a powerful and advanced society that became corrupt, leading to a catastrophic event that destroyed the island and sank it beneath the ocean. While some believe the story was based on real events or locations, most historians and scientists consider Atlantis a fictional creation by Plato, intended as a moral allegory about the dangers of hubris and the downfall of great powers. The origin of the legend. Plato's writings. The only primary sources for the legend of Atlantis are Plato's dialogues Timaeus and Critias, written in the 4th century BCE. A moral allegory. Many historians believe Plato invented the story of Atlantis to illustrate philosophical ideas. The tale serves as a cautionary example of how a powerful and technologically advanced civilization can become corrupted by greed and arrogance, leading to its destruction by the gods. Source of the story. Plato claims the story was passed down from Athenian lawgiver Solon, who heard it from Egyptian priests, who recounted an island civilization that had been destroyed by natural disasters 9,000 years before Solon's time. The description of Atlantis. Location. Plato describes Atlantis as a large isle and located in the Atlantic Ocean, beyond the Pillars of Hercules believed to be the Strait of Gibraltar. Advanced civilization. The Atlantans were depicted as a powerful and prosperous society with advanced technology, impressive architecture, and a strong navy. Cataclysmic end. The island was eventually submerged in the sea in a single day and night due to earthquakes and floods, a punishment from the gods for their wickedness and ambition. Myth versus history. Lack of evidence. No credible archaeological evidence of Atlantis has ever been found. Potential inspirations. Some theories suggest the story might have been inspired by real historical events, such as the volcanic eruption on the island of Santorini around 1500 BCE. Which caused widespread devastation and tsunamis in the region. Fictional interpretation. Most scholars today view Atlantis as a philosophical allegory rather than a historical account, a testament to its enduring power as a story. These are the answers of some questions about this mysterious lost city we are trying to figure out. Question number 1. What is the original story of Atlantis? Plato's story of Atlantis is told into dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, from 360 BCE. Atlantis was a powerful isle and empire that waged war but was defeated by the smaller Athens. The Atlantis story is a fictional parable about two competing cities and their contrasting cultures. So the second question is the lost city of Atlantis true? No, Atlantis was not a real place but a mythical isle and nation described by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato as a cautionary tale about hubris and the dangers of unchecked power. Most historians and scholars view Plato's account in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias as a philosophical allegory rather than a literal history, as there is no scientific or historical evidence outside of Plato's writings to support its existence as a physical location. Why Atlantis is considered fictional. Allegorical purpose. Plato likely created the story to illustrate the consequences of greed and overambition, using Atlantis' powerful empire and subsequent downfall as a metaphor. Lack of evidence. There are no other historical records, archaeological findings, or scientific data to confirm the existence of a civilization matching Plato's description of Atlantis. Philosophical context. The story of Atlantis was told in the context of philosophical dialogues and is not presented as historical fact, which further suggests it was a fictional creation for teaching purposes. The Atlantis story is told by Plato. Origin. Plato claimed the story was passed down from an Athenian statesman, who heard it from an Egyptian priest. Description. Plato described Atlantis as a vast, technologically advanced naval empire located in the Atlantic Ocean, west of the Strait of Gibraltar. Downfall. He wrote that the island was eventually destroyed by violent floods and an earthquake, sinking into the sea as a punishment from the gods for the Atlantans' moral decay. Question number 3. Plato wrote that these 10 rulers were the sons of Poseidon Atlas, Gaudius Ampiers, Ammon, Menzies, Autochthon, Elisippus Mestor, Azes and Dioprepes. If you look carefully at the map, you can find each of these names. Labeling the land Sanson was suggesting they might have. Question number 4. The lords of Atlantis built a mighty civilization, But their pride eventually angered the gods, who destroyed their island with earthquakes and fire, sending. Question number 5. El Dorado. Spanish El Duao is a mythical city of gold supposedly located somewhere in South America. The king of this city was said to be so rich that he would cover himself from head to foot in gold dust either daily or on certain ceremonial occasions before diving into a sacred lake to wash it off. Question number 6. Is Atlantis in the Bible? Is there any evidence for Atlantis? The Bible does not mention the lost city of Atlantis by name, but it does mention the first city in biblical history by name that was destroyed by the waters of the global flood. Question number 7. Is Atlantis an Egyptian myth? Where does the legend of Atlantis come from? The principal sources for the legend of Atlantis are Plato's dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. In Timaeus, Plato describes how Egyptian priests described Atlantis as an island larger than Asia Minor and Libya combined and situated just beyond the Pillars of Her. Question number 8. Is there any proof of Atlantis? Many of the proposed sites share some of the characteristics of the Atlantis story: water, catastrophic and relevant time period, but none has been demonstrated to be a true historical Atlantis. Question number 9. Who is the most powerful Atlantean? Scroll down for a lot more information. Starting with the first king of Atlantis, Asteriskarion the Immortal, Lord of Atlantis. Arion and/or Arion is arguably the most powerful character to ever appear in any DC comic. Question number 10. How deep is the Lost City? Lost City is located on a shelf approximately 70 meters to 130 feet below the massif summit at a depth of around 759,952,950 feet, with an approximate area of 500 square meters, 5,400 square feet. Question number 11. Who cursed Atlantis? Sam investigates the utopian city, Atlantis, that Plato says was cursed by the gods and swallowed up into the sea 12,000 years ago. Question number 12. How many died in Atlantis? 35,000. The remaining deaths are caused by the sinking of the city of Atlantis, which occurs at the start of the film, linking this event with the Mount Thera eruption, which is said to have inspired the legend of Atlantis, gives an estimated body count of 35,000, bringing the total to 35,185. Question number 3. What is another name for Atlantis? Atlantis, Atalantis, or Atlantica was a legendary island in the Atlantic Ocean, first mentioned by the Greek philosopher Plato, circa 427, 347 BC in his Timaeus dialogue. Question number 14. Is Atlantis mentioned in the Quran? Both the Quran and later sources mention a mysterious city called Diram of the Pillars. Today, it is more flamboyantly called the Atlantis of the Sands. Like Atlantis, it supposedly lies submerged, in this case, beneath the Arabian Desert. Question number 15. What was discovered under the Atlantic Ocean? The Kunlun system's discovery comes years after researchers found the Lost City system in the Atlantic Ocean. While the Lost City hydrothermal field is no lost city of Atlantis, it's still remarkable. In fact, it may be the longest-lived venting environment in history. So this is my today's video. What is your opinion about it? Tell me in comments. If you like my videos, do you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon? Now I am going and meet you in the next video. Take good care of yourself. Goodbye and good luck.